In this video, I'll be showing you how to make this beautiful trendy sleeve and a little explanation of what the sleeve is all about. First, it has a sleeve base, just a regular long sleeve base. Then it has a pleated cap or cup sleeve. Then at the bottom part of the sleeve, it has a 1080 degrees flare situation going on there. So I'll be showing you in this video how to make these sleeves in few minutes and the easiest way to go about it. If that is what you want to learn, kindly watch this video to the very end and let's get right into it.
Hello, you don't even know my name, but I am happy you came by.
So for the sleeve base, I'll be using this lace. I'll just go ahead and cut out the sleeve base with this lace fabric. Then the cup sleeve or the cap sleeve will be this velvet and the flare part of the sleeve will be this velvet. And I'm using the taped mouth velvet. Like I said, you will need the sleeve base which I already drafted out here. And even use it to cut out on the lace fabric, just a long sleeve. The only thing is that this paper is shorter than what I have on the fabric. Okay, but don't worry about that. The next thing we are going to do is the flare part, and you're going to measure where you want it to be. I want it to be 7 inches, but just because my paper is shorter by 1 inch, I marked 6 inches here. Then for the width, you're going to do anything between 2 to 3 inches depending on your wrist circumference. So you can do between 1.5 to 3 inches like I said before, but here I'm doing 1.75 because this person's wrist circumference is 7 inches. Okay, so 1.75 as the width or the wideness, and then the length is 7 inches. Okay, so you're going to cut it out on the fabric if you want to cut it out, but for what I'm going for, like the pattern I'm showing you in this tutorial, I'm not going to cut out anything. I'll just trace it out like that on the fabric. And now for the cap part of the sleeve, I'm going to come down by 5 inches. You can do 4 inches if you want it shorter, but 5 inches is just okay. Then I'm just going to roll it out this way. Okay, so this will be the length for the cup sleeve. You know, cup sleeve is usually very small. Then I'll simply go ahead and cut it out. If you are yet to use this to trace out on your lace fabric, like to cut out your main sleeve, your sleeve base, go ahead and do it. But I already used the pattern to trace out on the lace, and that's why I'm able to cut out the cup part of the sleeve from the sleeve pattern. Okay, then I'll take a fresh pattern. You can decide to fold this pattern or not, but I'm not folding mine. So I'm just going to mark out the starting point. Just mark out a straight line that would serve as a starting point. Then you're going to give a space on the down part of the paper, the fresh one. Just give a space. Do not let the sleeve, your sleeve pattern, go out of the paper. Okay, so here, this way is where the sleeve is going to start. Then from there, I'm going to go up 5 inches, which is the same length of the sleeve cap, the cap sleeve. On this point, I'm going to mark 2 inches, and on the upper part, I'm going to mark 3 inches. You can do more or less if you want. Like you can do 2 inches on the down part, or 3 inches on the down part and 4 inches on the upper part. But for me, I have 2 inches on the down and 3 inches at the upper part. That's just how much pleat I want. Then I'll simply go ahead and tape it down, and after that, I'll come up 2 inches. And this will be for the pleat or that puffy effect. So 2 inches works, and I'll blend it into the other part of the sleeve this way. Then I'll cut it out. Add your allowance if you want, and then you're going to blend in this part. For me, I just came up ½ inch from that line that I drew earlier, ½ inch from there. Then I'll connect it to the other end of the sleeve. You can decide to do it straight if you want, but if it's a little curved, it won't hurt. Then I'll cut it out. So it looks like this after cutting it out, and I'll just go ahead and trace it out on this one, cut out the lining, and then interface it. After I'm done, I'll show you how I interface both the main fabric and then the lining. Now let's cut the flare part of the sleeve. And you can decide to do, if you want exactly what is on the thumbnail, you do 180, but I want like a cone shape. I want that part to be like cone. As we proceed in this video, you will see what I'm talking about. So I'm going to cut a 90-degree flare. 90 degrees flare. You can do 180 if you want it to give you that drapey effect or that flare effect like you see it on the thumbnail. But I want mine to be cone, and I will show you how I did that in this video. So I'm going to measure what I have on the paper, which is 7 inches. Then because I will be turning it with lining, I added extra 1 inch, making it 8 inches. Then I'll simply go ahead and cut it out, and that's it. So this is how you cut out your 90 degrees flare. By the time you open it up, you see that it's just a single flare, like a quarter flare. And it's going to be like this by the time you're done. Let me show you another way you can cut your 90 degrees flare. In case you're confused about folding, just get um 2 ends of your fabric this way. Let it be like you have a pointy part this way, and then you have the other straight part and the other part straight like this. And then you're going to mark your 8 inches all around, or any length that you're working with. You mark it all around, place your measuring tape on that tip, on that pointy part, and then you mark the 8 inches. This one we already cut out. When I place it on, you see that it's just the same. Then if you fold your fabric into two before folding it in that triangle form, that will be 180 degrees flare. I hope you get that. So after cutting out the lining and all the pieces that needed for the sleeve, this is what I have. For the main fabric, I just use 1 layer of paper stay, and then for the lining, I first pressed paper stay and then I pressed on bobbinet. There is bobbinet and there is crinoline net. The crinoline net is kind of stiffer than the bobbinet. The bobbinet is softer than, or less stiffer than the crinoline net, and I use bobbinet for this one. Just make sure it's not getting to your sewing allowance for comfort and also for easy sewing, like so that it's not bulky on that point when you're done sewing. You're simply going to place the two right side facing right side, and then you turn it on the down parts only. After that, I'll show you what it looks like. Then for this one, the main fabric, I have 1 layer of paper stay, and then for this other one, I have, like, I laminated the velvet and a satin just to make it safe. Then I pressed 1 layer of paper stay. I know you can't see the satin, but there's a satin inside. I laminated the two fabrics before I pressed the paper stay, and that's it. That's because, like I said before, I want it to be cone instead of flare on that part, and it's actually cute afterwards. Then this is the sleeve base, which I cut out a skin tone net, and that would be going under just to give you that skin feel. We'll get to that, but for now, let me go ahead. Let me turn these two so that we'll proceed. So after turning it, this is what it looks like. Now I'm going to trim off the bobbinet on this part. It's very simple. I didn't want to trim it before because I want to stitch on it. Then after stitching, I'll trim it just before the stitch it. It will be very easy to do. It's not even hard. Just go ahead and trim it off this way, and that way you won't have any issue of it being bulky on the down part. Now I'm going to go ahead and top stitch on the lining. That's the satin. I'll just go ahead and top stitch on the allowance going to the lining to have something like this. After that, after top stitching, I stitch down the two fabrics, the lining and then the main fabric. Then this is me just trimming it off, and this is what it looks like afterwards. I'm simply going to iron it, and you keep that aside. Okay, now and for the other part, I also turn it, and I'll just go ahead and iron it. Like I said, if you want just the flare, do not bother about lining or anything. If you're using a thick fabric like velvet like this, you don't have to worry about lining or anything. But if you're using a sheer fabric, you can cut layers of it if you want. But don't bother about the lamination and every other thing. Just leave it like so that it will drape, like give you that flare effect. And for this other part of the sleeve, I'm going to measure what I have. Remember, it's 7 inches. On the paper, it's 6 inches. And then on the fabric, I said I will be doing 7 inches. Then I'm going to mark the same 1.75 width this way. And then I'll just go ahead and build it out. It's very simple. Okay, I will use my chalk to mark it out. And the good thing is that it's a sheer fabric. It will reflect on the other part of the sleeve. So I'll just turn it out this way, turn it to the other side this way, and then I will highlight the marking like this. Then I'll open it up and you can see clearly the markings there. I'll now take the cone. After ironing, I'll place it right side of the cone, going to the right side of the lace fabric this way on that marking. Then I'm going to stitch with about 0.25 down. And after stitching, this is what it looks like. I'm now going to go ahead and sew on the other side. Just go ahead and place it this way. Then you're going to flip it in so that the right side of the cone is going to the right side of the lace. If you're using a flay, the right side of your flay going to the right side of the main sleeve, right? Then you're going to stitch it down. But because of what we have here, it will be very hard for you to stitch it all the way to the end. If you made the width here like larger than what I have here, it will be easier for you to do it, but it's likely not to get to the end, right? I'll be dropping another method where you cut out that marking that I have there. You cut it out so that it will be easier. And I think this one is neater anyway. But what I'm simply going to do is to just go ahead and fold in the allowance and then top stitch on it all around. Like top stitch on this side and the other side too. And that's it. You can see how the inside is looking. And the cone shape looking so cute. Then I'll take the skin tone net this way. I'll now place the lace on it, like the wrong side of the lace on the skin tone net, and I'm going to top stitch all around it. It's very simple. This is just to make it, give it that skin feel, and also for some form of comfort from the lace. Then after that, I will now place the cup part of the sleeve this way. I already have a notch, and I'll place it on the notch on the main sleeve like this. Then I will know that this excess here is what I will be pleating. I'll do the same thing for this other side, and that way you have a uniform pleat on both sides by the time you're done. So after doing that, this is what it looks like. And you can see that it came out so well. Just look at this cap. Can you see that? And the bobbinette did its work. Please know that you can use your peplum stay or collar stay in place of the bobbinette, but I personally don't know why I have something against collar stay or peplum stay. So go ahead and fold it this way, close it with your measurement, like with your round sleeve all the way to the end, fix it to your dress, and that's it. So this will be the end of what tutorial today. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section, and I'll see you on my next one. Be good. Bye.